My world in education started in around 94. First working for the Tumwater School District at Makah T. Elementary School, Michael T. Simmons, and I started as actually like a recess monitor, playground monitor, and then moved into what's now known as a paraeducator. Back then they called it an education assistant, and my specialty was working with students in special ed. My culture has been woven into everything I've ever done, especially working in the public school. Mostly I was the only Native person in the school, and so it helped me. If I did run into Native students, which was rare, there was an instant connection between the student and I. So that helped that student get through it. It gave me hope to be there and to be representing Native Americans as a whole. And it also, I was able to provide a lot of culture to students who otherwise wouldn't have had that opportunity. So it's kind of guided me all along the way in everything I've ever done. And so yeah, then age 34 at that point, I realized that I'm never gonna get any higher than a position of an EA, so I had to go back to school to get my teaching degree. So I did. I went back to the Evergreen State College at age 30, graduated with my bachelor's at age 34. Simultaneously, my wife and I had our daughter then, and so I never did get back into the classroom. I ended up being a stay-at-home dad, but I got my degree now, and when I went back to work, I wanted to work for tribes because I realized working at a regular high school, I was helping a lot of privileged youth do well when they really had a really good chance of doing well on their own. And especially working with tribal youth when I got back there, that was easy for me. That was home cooking, working with those kids and inspiring them and motivating them to do better in school and do well in school, whether it was through sports or any other means, after school programs, you name it. So it's impacted everything I've done. And then eventually become a director of education at Nisqually. Now I had a responsibility to do all I can to help Nisqually kids move forward. And then from there, getting into the policy world, I was a part of the Tribal Leaders on Education Congress, TLC. And that body is the ones that asked me to represent the Governor's Office of Indian Affairs at the Educational Opportunity and Oversight, EOGOAC. So that's how I got in there. I'm the tribal representative to that body, and then from that body kind of promoted me and asked me and guided me toward the State Board of Education and to apply. And it was really Senator McCoy who urged me to apply to be appointed by Governor Inslee to serve on the state board. He said the representation as a Native American was too hard to turn away from and too difficult to say no. And so when Senator McCoy asked me to do it, there was no way I couldn't at least apply. So I want to say that he nudged me into leadership. It felt like a shove, but it was a nudge, and so that's why I applied, and that's how I got on the state board. So my culture has had everything to do with where I'm at, and it's been an honor to be the first adult Native American to serve on the State Board of Education. We have had a student, Lindsay, before I got on the board. She was a Native student representative, so I'm actually the second Native American, and then eventually become the first Native American chair meant a lot to me, and to be able to represent our Native students in a way where we're in a place where they've never had representation before at the high policy level of the state. It's been an honor. I've been able to be a part of things legislatively through the EOGOAC and promoting things that have benefited not only Native students but a lot of students of color to close that gap for them. I've been a part of the legislative team to finally do away with Native mascots for schools in our state, so that there's been a lot of legacy things that I've been a part of, a lot of them too many to remember actually. One is we did professional development training through the Nisqually Tribe for over 800 teachers in the North Thurston School District. That was an amazing feat. Lots of things. I think being on the state board when we advanced and got the legislation passed to have our students to be able to have an actual vote instead of an advisory vote, that's a legacy thing. So yeah, I know I'm leaving a bunch out, but there's been a lot of things that I've been a part of and proud to be a part of that I consider legacy things, at least for me. Be proud of who you are, be proud of where you came from, be proud of your ancestry, be proud of your culture, be proud of your language, be proud of your song and your dance and your art and your regalia, be proud of all of those things, carry strong. I know that's one of the things that I did, try to model to non-native students what native people are really like, because there's a lot of misconceptions out there. So stay strong and steadfast in your culture, share it wherever you go. It really helps you make connections with people, especially people that have never met a native person before.